The people on the grid.
Here we are, welcome to People on the Grid, where today we have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with Guy Morley.
Thank you.
The owner, founder, setter-upper of Kailani Ice Tea. Our Guy, this is a venture which, how long have you been going?
Just over a year now, started in April last year.
And getting here from the point of view of getting to Barcelona and kind of arriving here from London, I mean, you've got the iced tea is obviously the core of your life at the moment. Yeah. You didn't come from this, you came from a very different background. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, in London I was actually a lawyer for a few years and ended up in the music industry, sort of doing their sort of disputes between sort of the rich and famous and who wrote what song, etc. So yeah, it's very much of a change.
Jet-setting kind of lifestyle and travelling all over the place, or?
Before actually, it was more of a sort of general media law. Went to Australia a few times, Japan and stuff.
And then so it wasn't the kind of the doom and gloom of London that forced
No, exactly. I think I was very lucky as a lawyer to get the best of what law's got to offer.
Okay, and so after that, packed it in for the love of kind of setting up. I mean, it's a random one to jump to. Kind of.
It is random. It was an evolution of sort of various different ideas, I think, and sort of looking at what worked in London often works in Barcelona and Spain a bit later.
Okay.
And sort of looking at the trends for smaller providers, healthier drinks, like the people adding sugar to taxes to soft drinks, and this has got no added sugar.
So was it a kind of, you saw a gap in, I mean, the health food market kind of thing is huge, where people love that kind of thing. Did you see a gap and then try and find the product afterwards to fill that gap, or did you think iced tea from the outset?
It wasn't from the outset, but I think what we tried not to do is create a healthy drink, because often most people, it's either sort of these two extremes, you're either unhealthy or healthy. And what we've done is try to make a nice looking, well branded, good drink that improves on the unhealthier alternatives out there.
And yeah, talk a bit about the branding, Kailani. That's it. I mean, do you do Hawaiian special?
No, not at all actually. But it was what we wanted was like a beach theme around it.
I was just waiting to have a first taste on camera. Yeah. It's good. It's extremely good. No, that's
we're in the ideal place for Kailani as well, right on the beach.
Well, exactly. And where are we? What's the name of this place?
This is one of the best chinguitos in Barcelona. It's like we've got to the Escriba, which sells Kailani. Also, we've got some deck chairs out here.
We're on Playa Bogadell.
Yeah, and it's actually the one that's linked to the Escriba restaurant, so they've got their own proper restaurant kitchens out there, so you get the best food here as well.
Okay. And so going back into the branding, why the fresh? I mean, obviously branding is the most important thing, especially when selling a kind of a beverage or a food type thing. And take us through how you ended up there.
Well, the beach thing, I think, first came sort of a general ocean lover and amateur surfer, attempts at surfing.
Right. The English amateur, typical.
Yeah, exactly. Live in London and then drive 5 hours to Cornwall once every blue moon. But I think, also because obviously it's a refreshing cold drink, and it fitted quite well, and it means actually I get to do some cool events and cool things while I'm officially working.
Well, that's it. So are you doing much of that around Barcelona at the moment? Are you doing any kind of launch party?
Yeah, last summer actually we did. We sponsored the World Series of stand-up paddle. Which was really good fun. Yeah, we had people coming
World Series. I mean, that's it must get it's a huge sport now.
Yeah, and we had like the number one here or number two, I think, which was actually called Kailani.
Oh really?
So you gave me a little T-shirt to put on, but unfortunately he was sponsored by Red Bull, so we can take a photo.
You tried it anyway. You didn't take part in the competition yourself?
No, just watching.
Just watching. I mean, it's fairly serious business. But as far as the kind of setting up of the business here in Berkshire, firstly, why Barcelona? Why Spain?
I did a Spanish degree actually before going into law, and loved Spain and sort of a Hispanophile, and had friends over here, and so I was visiting quite a bit. And I think it's a good compromise city. And compromise is often sort of a bad word. I think it's got a lot of. It's still an international city, but it's not on a vast scale. For example, like London, it's got a beach. It's got a lot of outside activities like mountains.
And did you have the brand already kind of established in your mind before you came here? Did you?
The general concept,
did you want to be in the place where you were going to be trying to push it? Obviously, so
yeah. And I think to get into, if you wanted to start in Spain, I think Barcelona is probably at the forefront of Spain. So I think if you start here and then spread out is the strategy.
And startup, yes, there are enormous amounts of startups in Barcelona. And is that because do you get kind of any funding or anything from the Catalonian government or anything?
Not much. Ask me next month.
No, next month. You're applying at
we're thinking about it. Yeah.
Because it's quite. renowned for being quite helpful towards all these startups, which is why you have all these kind of workspace, workspaces.
And often sort of startup has become now sort of synonymous with tech, which it doesn't have to be, I think.
Well, no. Techie Ice Tea.
But I've been
for the techs.
That's the thing. I go to startup events where everyone's it happens to be sort of techie, and then they say, "What do you do?" And I go Ice Tea, and they're like, "Oh, IT. We all do IT."
Oh, really? Is that
no, Ice Tea.
The old blunder, where you provide them with the drinks, and then they kind of come up with that.
I'm just gonna have to put my sunglasses on.
Help yourself.
Straight into the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. I've set it up to put you in the most awkward position.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a SAS interrogation.
Yes, exactly. And the kind of again back to the branding. I mean, you mentioned a lot that the water comes from Galicia. Is that an important aspect for the drink itself, or is that I mean, Galician mountain water? I think
that's probably the best. It's not official, but I think it's probably the best. It's considered the best in Spain. I think just because the amount of rain they get, they have very pure water.
That's where that's where you kind of manufacture everything.
It wasn't an essential part of when we set out. It has to have Galician spring water, but it's sort of an added bonus and helps with the naturalness of the drink. I think it's not sort of filtered.
Well, it tastes very
water.
Soft,
and it helps the taste very much.
No, absolutely. Is that a mission for you to kind of go? Do you go back and forth between Barcelona and?
It's not me. I love it. Going to Galicia. The food is amazing. Yeah.
It sounds like rather. Yeah, I'm in the wrong industry, journalism. As much as you get to meet, I'd rather like the idea of setting up a brand of iced tea or something there. So it's kind of an addictive thing. But
this is, isn't it?
No, this is. In fact, no, it's extremely nice. So it'll take the different flavours you've got.
Yes, this is the green tea, lime and ginger, and I've got black tea and lemon as well. So they're both all natural with no artificial ingredients and no added sugar.
This is incredibly kind of fresh. Like there's clean taste, and there's highly recommended actually. This is the plugging with the game on it. You don't even have to plug it yourself. I'll plug it for you. But and as far as so you just got the two flavours at the moment. Is that because you want to keep it relatively simple at first, and then you're going to branch out?
I think at first, I mean, in Barcelona, we're now actually just in the last month we've gone to Ibiza, Mallorca, Canaries, Madrid, Malaga, and Barcelona. But in Barcelona, I'm still doing all the distribution.
Right.
And it's enough of a headache with two flavours. I think once we've sorted out the distribution, I think this year was the project with the distribution.
I mean, literally, you're driving around in the kind of
every Thursdays. I've got the car show, the zip car, cabin car it's called here.
Oh right, so you rent one for the day.
Well, it's getting. I think I'm going to have to start renting vans soon. This summer seems to have gone busy. But
that's good.
Very good. Yeah,
absolutely. And then when you have a little drivers, and then so it's quite nice seeing or witnessing and feeling your business growing as it is. And as you say, the summer's coming up, the orders are coming in.
Yeah.
So as far as a kind of self-satisfying project, are you pretty happy where it's at the moment?
Yeah, when I was still a lawyer in London but knew I was going to come and leave and do this, I think I said to myself, either whether it's commercially successful or not, whether if I see someone on the beach walk past and see someone drinking a Kailani, then that's personally successful.
That must be, yeah.
And now I've got sort of six deck chairs here with Kailani,
Yeah, which I hope you can see in the background is which is very good. I mean, it's a very nice spot as well to have it all set up, and I think it fits your brand pretty well. And as far as kind of other, where do you see it going in the future? As far as where would you like to keep it? Do you want to keep it as a artisan style, kind of only a couple of kind of simple things, or would you like it to become a kind of commercial product? Or
I think just the nature of the sort of food and drink industry is, and it needs to be volume. You need to have a certain amount of volume, otherwise it's impossible. I mean, but with no ambitions to sort of be the new Nesty. Hopefully,
right.
I mean, people will convert and then live healthier and more satisfyingly tasty lives. But I don't. I mean, it's not. The aim isn't to sort of rival Coca-Cola yet.
No. Obviously, it starts small with and you would like to, obviously to get it as big as possible. Kind of
exactly.
Thing, but as these kind of companies go, they tend to be kind of niche product kind of things.
Yeah, I think and that's definitely how to start up. I mean, who knows, to be honest, where it's going to go.
Do you have a pine for the city? Back to lawyer, tapping away, or were you tapping behind desks, mate?
We got a lot of the time.
Yeah. So, do you ever miss that sort of lifestyle? You're pretty happy where you've ended up now.
Look at this. But I don't know. I'm glad I did it, and it really helps with what I'm doing now. Actually, but in a weird way, I think.
Do you apply any of those old kind of skills?
Because I think people think of lawyers as you know the law and that's it. But I think you pick up a lot of sort of, I suppose, soft skills like persuasion, negotiating, And I mean, when we started off, had a trademark dispute, which I was able to handle myself rather than.
So what happened there? With who?
Got to be careful here. Those will get another dispute. But, a well-known sporting company has a running brand. This is the lawyers coming back in. Watching what I say.
He's getting very careful.
Has a running brand which they thought was similar to Kailani.
Okay.
But we persuaded them nicely.
We'll have to try and decipher what that is. Okay.
That's a little riddle for you to figure out afterwards.
Okay.
But we won.
But it was all you won in the end. They
did. Yeah.
They
wanted me to withdraw the trademark, and then they retracted their position.
Is it quite tricky picking out, or just kind of choosing a kind of Hawaiian name as your brand kind of thing, or anything like that? I mean, just
the naming itself, whatever you want, is incredibly difficult because you come up with what you think the perfect name, and then you check the trademark, and then obviously it's quite hard to find a good name that someone else hasn't taken.
And what's the meaning of Kailani?
So Kailani means sea and sky. And it's also sort of had a nice sort of general well-being of, I mean, like this exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of
sort of. It's a nice. I mean, like lots of like Mahalo and Aloha. They've got a lot more sort of spiritual niceness.
Well, the whole everything associated with Hawaii. People think kind of
nice people getting on and people having peaceful
that's
culture.
It. Let's go quickly into the health side and the health benefits of it. So I mean, it's a clear winner. Less than 50 calories per bottle. Which, how does that compare to other kind of normal brands? So kind of a typical.
The market leaders.
The market leaders.
I think I mean, so this one, for example, is 14 calories per 100 ml.
Right.
So I think the market leader is about 2.5, 3 times that.
Oh really? Okay, so and that's purely from there's no added sugar in it. It tastes.
No, and that's the main thing because it's not just the calorie levels. It's the fact that it's free. I mean, I'm a bit of a geek about this, I suppose, but there's the free sugar that you put in, which is added sugar.
Yeah.
And so this has got a certain amount of sugar because it's got fruit juice in, just contained within the fruit juice.
Okay, yeah.
But your body knows how to deal with that because it's naturally occurring. But if you add in sugar, that even if it was from it, so people say fructose or something, it's still been extracted from the fruit and put in, so it's taken out of its natural, contained in fibres and stuff, and put in, and then your body doesn't know how to deal with that as well.
That's and I mean, so it tastes as sweet as anything else, and it's quite a surprising kind of.
It hasn't got the sort of
it hasn't got the clinging,
covering,
no, exactly. That's it. So it's got the
flavour.
clean cut taste kind of thing, which is And actually, just going back to your previous life, I read that you were inspired by John Grisham to go into the law, which seemed like a.
That's a slightly flippant comment.
It was a flippant. I was going to say it's rather like going into to be a pilot, having seen Top Gun kind of thing or something.
Yeah.
But what was? I mean, we covered it briefly before, but getting into the iced tea, what was the real inspiration by that? There was a gap. You liked the iced tea and not another product, for instance. Why this?
Well, I think like most entrepreneurs, they want to do something.
You like tea, you want to do your own.
Exactly.
A little taste of England kind of thing as well.
I think it's big. Yeah, I mean, it's like most entrepreneurs, you want to do something for yourself. I think it's the main driver, and then you sort of think, you look at your skills, look at actually what you can do. For example, I could never have done a tech startup because I have no idea.
But food, do you have a kind of so you just.
I think that's why lots of people, when they want to do their own and they don't know what to do, they think of sort of bars, cafes first off, because whether they can or not, everyone thinks they can do that, and it's something that people have first-hand experience of from the other side.
Which is probably why so many fail in their first year or something.
Exactly, it's because it's probably not as easy. I have no idea, but it's probably. I imagine it's not as easy as it looks.
So you've passed that now. You're beyond the year.
You never know what happens around the corner.
It's very true. It's always best to stay on your toes, I suppose, as well, and expect. Yes.
Exactly, and I think you have to.
Yeah. Have you had any kind of big, apart from the kind of the trademark dispute, have you had any kind of big hurdles that have come up and almost that have been tricky to overcome? Or
right before we started, ingredients provider actually was because a big problem with getting into the food and drink industry is minimum orders.
Right.
And I found someone who was going to provide the ingredients, etc. And they say it was a misunderstanding. I'm fairly sure it wasn't. But they suddenly, the day before the order, suddenly said, "Oh no, you have to order effectively 4 times, 5. I think it's 5 times how much we could order."
Which is a substantial amount where you didn't.
So we couldn't do it with them. But then things turned out well, and we found a much better provider. So.
Okay, all right. They say it's actually kind of led to.
Yeah, Okay, perfect. It was a bit of a shock at the time.
And that's about it. Kind of since then, it's just been the kind of. I suppose it's establishing the name over here, and whatever else is tricky in itself. But that's something which was expected. There was nothing unexpected.
No, and there's big moments of doubt. I think I went to Alimentaria in April, which is a big industry food fair in Barcelona. You go around there and you're looking at sort of, pieces like Estrella Damm or Coca-Cola, and they've got like stands as big as a house effectively there, and you're just and sort of restaurants and bars giving out free beer or free soft drinks inside. And you're just sort of like, wow, because we couldn't. I think a stand for probably the size of this table was like something like €5,000. So God knows how much.
Did you sneak a little coolie bag in there and kind of handle that?
I did actually, but I shouldn't say that one.
Yeah, you probably would. Okay, we'll edit. Thank you very much indeed for coming to speak to us. And,
thank you very much. It's been good fun.
We wish you all the best with this great product, and genuinely go out and try it. It's extremely nice.
Thank you.
The people on the grid.